and welcome to another late episode of Fall as They May. Because fuck it, we don't care anymore.
Hell yeah.
We had it falls under technical difficulties if
It
anyone
true.
has any sort of
True,
internet connectivity issue.
my
Not
internet
that
was having
anyone in the
issues.
United States is having these issues at this time.
Oh, my
I
hair
think
looks
for
like
us it's called senioritis.
It is called the senioritis. We're getting to the end of the campaign. We just, we just don't care anymore.
What are you talking about?
Luke is triggered. You okay,
Luke is still a puny sophomore compared to us
Okay.
Chad seniors.
Why am I a sophomore?
Because you
Because
look like
You're
a sophomore.
soft.
Yeah,
You're a soft boy.
I'm soft and I want more.
yeah,
Yeah.
I bent over.
Okay, but not on stream. We can't do that. Lose our following of not a lot, but enough.
But enough. Anyway, last we left off, the favorite few had discussed their further actions in trying to press an attack against Tremor with their companions who were currently gathering at the Redwood Manor. They decided to attempt a conversation with the Emperor, which went surprisingly well. The Emperor being willing to lend his full support, however, only in the case that they were able to strike a deal with the Daywalkers and convince them to sign a ceasefire contract. So that way the Emperor would not have to fight a three-front war, as he would not be able to commit any troops to such a cause. The favorite few were then they returned to their manor, where they contacted Galvarax, a engineer within the Daywalkers, that could potentially get them a meeting with the High Overseer to hopefully be able to discuss this ceasefire. They were delivered a box which contained a map to Forstford, the current main city of the Daywalkers, and they decided to get a quick rest in before they made it, with Galvarax awaiting their word to bring them over. A night was had between two individuals, and we come to the next morning. Everybody slowly coming to consciousness as the reddened sky gently enters through the windows. What's everyone doing?
Did I ever give Luke my rock?
Did you give Ezra a rock?
Yeah, my $25,000 rock.
Oh,
Yes,
you did?
The diamond. Yes, Luke does have the diamond.
Is there anywhere I can get it cut?
I mean, probably, but it's probably gonna take a while.
Yeah.
By the way, that thing's worth 25,000. 25,000. Don't lose it. And I'm going to leave my simulacrum behind so it can greet anyone who comes through the door and pretty much give info on what we're up against
Gotcha. Okay.
to other people.
All right, so your simulacrum will post up as doorman for the time being. Anything anyone else is doing in preparation?
Retching.
Alright.
Yeah.
You'll probably see Daytona somewhere at a spot to herself, trying to talk with herself and trying to psych herself up, but also trying to prepare some sort of speech that may be coherent, which probably won't. Nathan's probably getting involved in food prep fairly early because he doesn't know all these folks, and this is probably the best way he can be useful, given that way everyone else can focus on the important things, planning and logistics and all that.
Okay. Nathan is going to do some food prep for the day. Ezreal, anything you're up to?
Yeah, I'm gonna help with food.
Okay. All right. So as all of you kind of go about your respective duties for the next couple of hours, um, eventually finishing up and gathering your things, you will be seen off. You will be seen off by your friends and companions here who, for the record, it's about 9 a.m. The headmaster, Penley, and Larn have not come down yet. Only Talon.
Okay. And they're old. Need some sleep.
Well, Penley's old. Larn, you don't know, and the headmaster's pretty young for being a headmaster.
You're good. He's like DILF age.
He's like maybe mid-30s at the most.
Really?
He's pretty young.
Huh.
He's one of the youngest. I mean, you literally read an article, or literally read in a book that he was one of the youngest archmages. But yeah. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, because he would have been 20. Yeah, he would have been 24 the first time you met him, and this is 10 years later. So yeah, he's mid-30s.
Well, good for him.
Can't all have successful careers.
Yeah, some of us get our villages burned down.
Oh, I'm doing pretty good for myself.
You know,
Things considered.
you know what? That is fair. All right.
You know, those other kids I went to school with, you know what they're doing now? Not much.
All right. So I'm assuming you guys are gonna contact Galvarax.
Once everything's all sorted.
It takes you. I would say it takes you about into 10 o'clock with you and Nathan prepping just to make sure you have enough food. That's like, okay, if people are gonna show up, we have meals ready for lunch, and potentially we have some snacks for afterward. But as you guys kind of get into, as Ezreal, the telephone sends off her sending spell.
Thank you.
Ring, banana phone.
You guys will all hear the house once again fill with the sound of, all right, so you're ready to depart?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Excellent. I just need to calibrate the teleporter. This is only going to take a moment. There's a couple beats of silence.
This is gonna be like how everyone else talk about how their teleportations is all wonky, isn't it?
I'm sorry?
There's been a thing that apparently anyone that tries to do magical teleportation, there could be problems, such as not really getting to their destination. But I figured yours is slightly different, so I am curious whether or not it's. You know what? No, you'll figure it out. You'll find it's fine.
No.
It's fine. It's all fine. It's all
don't-
fine. I'm not gonna
don't-
freak out about this. No,
don't
I'm not. No, I'm
worry-
not.
Don't
No, I'm not.
worry in the
I'm not doing it.
slightest, to be
I'm
I
not
honest.
freaking out.
I slapped Daytona.
Don't worry. Do not worry in the slightest. I assure you, this is the most advanced technologies that the Daywalkers have been able to produce when we may need to recalibrate the teleporter. Alright, so he will attempt to teleport you to his his structure, his home. Alright.
Who's ready to hit a arcane wall, boys and girls?
I need everyone to make a Constitution saving
wow.
throw.
Yeah!
Oh, Eric.
First
why?
roll of the
Some
2, baby.
kind
Let's
of
go.
Psychic wall.
He had a 20% chance to fail that. I rolled a 19.
Oh yeah, I have proficiency because I have resilient on
I also
Constitution.
rolled a 19.
Okay, that's
but
better. So I rolled a
that's-
13
that's
instead.
Good.
So that's going to be 23.
13.
27.
13, 27. What did Daytona roll?
I originally rolled a 2, but then I remembered I have resilient, so I have. So I rolled a 13 for 23.
23. Nathan?
15.
15. And Ophelia?
My roll 20 is getting fucked right now. Give me a second.
Just roll a real die.
It's a 2, but I don't know what my bonus is.
Oh, God.
God damn it, roll 20! Son of a bitch.
Alright, well, I can tell you so far only Ezreal has failed.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I don't know what your bonus is, so you gotta tell me.
Okay, roll 20. Finally working with me.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Yeah, finally. It's telling me to not call my ISP this time.
It's telling me not to call my ISP.
12 total.
12 total? Alright, that's 2 failures. Okay, so as you
Oh,
guys
but
all watch as the very familiar circle begins to appear within the center of your dining area, you watch as there are lights that emit from it that encapsulate just the 5 of you. And then there is a flash of energy, familiar to how it is when Ophelia teleports you all. All of you, about maybe a couple seconds after the teleport happens, it's usually like, okay, you know, it's instantaneous, we're gonna be there. You're drifting for a moment. And then you hit a wall. And then another one. And another one. And then just chain after chain after chain. It feels like you're just phasing through something, but it almost feels like you're being slowed down, and you're being slowed down with intent. Ezreal and Ophelia, both of you, as you're just feeling this force over and over and over again on your bodies, you start to feel sick. You start to feel dizzy. After about a couple more seconds of this, about 7 seconds in total, where you guys are just constantly hitting these pockets of energy, you find yourself within the similar chambers of Galvarax's home that you've been in before. So this is gonna be... Alright. So, Ezreal and Ophelia, you both suffer 20 points of force damage.
Oof.
And you are poisoned for the next hour.
I've never felt so nauseous.
You see Galvarax's goggles over his face as the final flashes of energy from the teleporter dissipate. He puts them up. Hello, friends. Are you okay? That took a little longer than I thought it would.
I had to worry. And I was right. I was right to worry.
Worry about what happened?
Walls. A lot of walls.
I see. Do you need tea? Water?
Tea would be nice.
Okay. When can you prepare some tea, please? And you'll see the golem, or the mechanical construct, bow before walking out of the room. I do sincerely apologize. This is still a newer technology, you must understand.
Of course.
But, well, follow me, please, and maybe hold on to those two. I fear they might collapse.
Piggyback ride for Ezreal.
As he turns,
Yeah.
as he turns and he looks and says, "Hold on a moment. Where? And he comes in, and you see another construct come in, and he says, "Could you conduct the search on them just to make sure all their parts are intact?" Ware nods and comes over to all of you and starts examining your bodies. Just not intrusive or anything, just more like checks your legs, knocks on your knees, checks your elbows, checks your eyes, checks your mouths, checks your hair.
I confess, I'm not so much disturbed by the idea that I might have lost something, as that it would be so cleanly gone I would not have noticed that.
You will hear Ware say, "Well, this does tend to happen sometimes. As it says, it is a newer technology, and it is not uncommon for." Oh, wait. Oh, no. You're fine. And he pats your ear. It is not uncommon for some parts to be left behind.
I hide my hand. I'm gonna hide my hand in my sleeve.
He'll as you are you actually doing that?
Yeah.
All right. So as you put your head in your sleeve, you go, Where will kind of come over. Make a stealth check.
Well, that's pretty high.
It's
It's
gonna be a
17
high
plus,
DC.
I think 11,
28.
28.
All right, so you come over. So as he comes over, and begins examining, you're able to keep him from like messing too much with your sleeve to see that there is actually something there. And he'll go, "Oh well, that is most unfortunate. I will make sure that the creator has a prosthetic outfitted for you immediately." Seemingly completely unfazed
Creator
beyond
being...
that, being Galvarax.
Has there ever
Um,
been something where someone loses their head instead?
No, nothing. May I remove your mask just to check very quickly?
Sure.
Thank you. And he will remove the mask and begin examining. No, nothing along that, though it has been seen that perhaps a nose or an ear might go missing.
Hmm.
And in one case, a tongue. Open your mouth, please.
Ah.
All right. But it is all right. He is striving every day to make this a common technology, and he will stop at nothing until it is done. And after you guys are examined, he will leave the room.
Maybe we should have teleported here. Just with us.
Congratulations, you guys are guinea pigs in a mad scientist's experiments.
hell yeah.
I don't know if it's worth the risk.
Alright, but as you guys kind of exit and begin walking down, Nathan, you weren't here last time, were you?
No, I don't think
Nope.
so.
You see the walls are lined with various framed blueprints of different inventions that this individual seems to be currently working on. Or has already worked on. You see what looks like one that appears to be for a small box about this big that is intended to heat food at a quicker pace than what a fire could do.
What's the technology behind it?
As you kind of examine it for a moment, you see it utilizes elementally charged crystals. And you see that the actual frame of it is made of pure steel, which you start to question kind of how because steel and fire that typically doesn't work too well. But then you start seeing like the inside. He appears to have it lined with thicker leathers that are intended to act as momentary insulation.
So is this how they make instant food in the future?
I mean, you have no one there from the future, so. You see another one that appears to be for a sort of horseless transportation. It is a rather large construct, at least in relation to what the blueprint has. It appears to function on a sort of track that is able to take this large construct and move it along said track as a mode of transportation for other people. And you see that this spans, like, this is, like, right next to each other in frame. Like, this is across multiple blueprints.
Nathan will spend a bit of time looking in particular at the tracks.
Mhm.
The idea of having a thin road that can carry a lot on it, regardless of the construct. That's an interesting concept, and he has keen mind and will use it.
All right, you have that. You now have that in your memory banks for a month.
The player knows how important tracks are. Never mind the railroad, the tracks.
The tracks.
I'm actually serious here.
So yeah, just a lot of very interesting designs for things that you can't. Like, one of them appears to be a way to more efficiently milk cattle. Which, as you look at it, you kind of have to tilt your head a few times to kind of get the concept. But eventually, making your way into the meeting room that a lot of you have been in before, Galvarax has finished some teas and sets them down at the table. And as he does so, you see he moves the pot over and sets it atop this very crude-looking black iron box. And you see, as he sets it down, it starts to begin to glow all like across the top, this reddish glow, as he just puts it on there. Please sit down, take a moment. I know that the methods of transportation can be a little bit unsettling.
Yeah, about that. Last we saw you, your house got up and moved. Is it gonna be doing that while we're in here?
No, we're not too far from Forstford, so maybe for about a couple miles or so.
Okay, so we're taking a walk to our destination.
Oh, it'll
That's
be much quicker than a walk, I can assure you.
we're not teleporting again, are we?
No, unfortunately, my teleporter only takes people to my place of residence at the moment. Once it becomes a more widespread technology, I hope to put it within major cities as a mode of quick transportation for perhaps those unfortunate enough to not understand or not have access to the arcane. A sort of a magicless teleportation circle, if you will.
Okay.
That sounds quite interesting. Some of our friends back home might be interested in your work.
Oh,
They say you're quite ahead of your time.
Oh, well, I do definitely appreciate the compliment, and if they themselves are engineers, I would not mind having the extra hands. It does tend to get a bit tedious around here. And Nathan, for the first time ever seeing him, Galvarax is definitely in his later years as a Dragonborn. 60s, maybe pushing 70s. His scales are very faded. The color from them has been drained. He still seems spry, but he has definitely been hitting his later years in life. And he'll like kind of give you guys a few moments to drink your tea, just get a second to kind of come off of the intensity that you just went through. And he'll say, "All right, well, I'll get this thing moving. Feel free to roam around if you'd like to. All I ask is just if you're going to go, he thinks for a moment, points to a doorway to the left side. If you're going to go down that hall, my personal chambers are at the end. I just ask that you do not enter.
Now, why'd you have to say that? Now I'm really curious.
Look around. It's just I do have things in there that are very delicate, and I would much rather not have untrained hands around them."
Okay. Daytona.
But what?
Some of this equipment is still experimental, and a wrong move could explode them. So I would very much appreciate if you just leave what is in my chambers alone. other than that, there's a I have a room with some of my prototypes if you'd like to go, and I do need more test subjects if you'd like to go and experiment with them. But anyway,
Think about it.
I will get this thing moving. I'll be right back, and he will get up and start walking off, going back through the hallway that he had originally gone through. And it's up to you guys if you'd like to sit here or you'd like to take him up on his offer.
Anyone else going to take a look at the prototypes?
I'm fucking going, taking a look.
Hell yeah.
I'd like to look at them. I don't know about the experimenting until after this whole thing is over.
I'm sitting in the hallway, not being a good Christian boy.
He's sitting in the meeting room.
Wow, what a lame-o.
I'm wherever
Wait.
Daytona is going, I'm going.
To clarify,
That's
to clarify, for the prototypes, you mean the ones that he's explicitly saying are in his bedroom or elsewhere?
He said there were prototypes in a separate room and to not go to his personal chambers.
Yeah,
Daytona's
so-
Daytona's asking all of you, are you going to see the prototypes?
All right, Nathan is clarifying with Daytona the ones that we are allowed to see, right?
If you want, yes, I'm asking if you want to see them. Whether I'm trying to gauge where everyone's going, because I plan on staying right here.
In sight. Check.
we can do this. All right.
You can insight check and make this respective modifier.
You are going up against a 28.
Jesus Christ, am I?
You're
She-
fighting a charisma-based character. This is literally wisdom against charisma.
It's a 22, man.
I mean, Daytona seems to be telling the truth.
Wouldn't you want to come with us and see all the prototypes?
Oh, well, I mean, would I? But we've just had an experience where we've been bouncing around on magical walls. I am a little bit shook, but if you are still interested, because I know you are a little shook up, you are free to do whatever you want.
About this time, you guys feel the house begin to rumble. And then lift, and then you're starting to feel movement forward. Like, as if you're, like, standing on a horse. Like, it's a little bit off, you were a little bit off center at first, but then eventually you guys get your bearings.
And, well, if you change your mind, you're free to join us.
Well, of course, he pointed out that it was in that direction. I might, but it's gonna be a few minutes.
Alright, so who's going to the prototype room?
Me.
I'll go to prototype room.
Nathan as well? Alright, so you three
Yeah.
will head to the prototype room. And Daytona, where are you going?
The moment that I no longer see
So-
them, I am
okay,
going
so
to.
Point of note. Goo is still in the room. Goo didn't leave.
I don't care.
Just point of note. I'm sure you understand.
I was gonna say if Goo's gonna stop me, he's willing. He is one to try.
Oh, I have a plan. As she's getting up and going that way,
Mhm.
is it possible for me to make an unarmed strike without any of the like bonuses?
Yeah, sure.
Like
I'll say
really
you're
base.
I'll say you're holding back, sure. I'll say
Okay.
you're trained enough in martial in your craft to know how to hold back.
I was gonna say
So-
as I am walking that direction, I am acting like I am stretching out and just trying to limber up as this happens.
Okay.
Oh, I can tell already.
Mm-hmm.
Years of detective police work and getting people to not be delinquents. I fucking know already. So I guess I have to do the damage for an unarmed strike.
Yeah, you'd have to do the
I
damage
think.
for it.
Okay, so
So first roll to hit. See if you can hit Daytona.
His bonuses are like 87. He's
I
probably gonna
have
hit
to
me.
assume a fucking Yeah, I have to assume a 23 hits.
Daytona.
I'm almost tempted to say shield, but that's such a fucking waste.
Alright, so you will. So Daytona, as you're getting up, stretching, and looking at the door, you will feel a hit. Basically, you will feel a hit from Goo.
Okay.
Okay, so
I was gonna ask whether it's like a nerves or anything, but here it goes.
That's 2 points of damage.
He's
Oh.
holding back. It is very quick, just a love tap.
Okay.
However, I am quivering, palming you.
So Daytona, as he kind of just takes the knuckles of his hand and just kind of gingerly just kind of snaps you on the side of the neck, you kind of go ah, and then you start to feel like your whole body is trembling.
Oh, like the moment that strike even hits, even if it's like minor pain, Daytona is immediately just hitting the floor and just going ah 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 ah. Immediate fetal position, ball, crying.
I'll say as you're doing that, you're doing your performance, but you definitely feel like something's wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
Question is, do I believe it?
Make a, I guess Daytona roll deception, Goo roll insight.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I was gonna say it's a 17 plus 16, so
You're going up against a professional liar, Goo.
I mean, it's 27.
27, Goo. You did something, and Daytona's in a lot of pain. You thought you were holding back, but you must have hit like a really bad nerve or something.
you also may have hit the quivering palm, and you may or may not have accidentally set it off. Just throwing that out there.
To my knowledge,
To your knowledge, you know you didn't set it off because you.
no. To my knowledge, I know I didn't set it off, and I also know that if I did set it off, you either are hurt, which is fine, or you're dead, which is not. But you're not dead, so I'm good. And I knew what you were gonna do anyways.
All right.
Guys, I killed Dayton.
So for
What?
the rest of you, as you're making your way down the hallway, pretty fairly easily, as he does keep his rooms labeled here. It's pretty easy to find what he's talking about. As you're opening the door, you will hear Daytona go ah, ah, ah. So do you guys, do you want to respond?
Seems like he got his hand blown up. Oh well.
No one cares.
Is Daytona the sort of person to get into trouble when there's
Yes,
not... Oh, okay.
I'm sure Goo can handle it.
Hit you with quivering palm.
So,
You have two options.
Well,
Death or pain.
I don't know how hurt you are.
Ooh.
I know you want to go in there.
Ooh.
I'm not stopping you from going in there.
Ooh.
But if you touch anything, and I find out you touched anything, it's actually gonna hurt a whole lot more.
Okay.
Are you fine?
No. My body's tingly, and it's not tingly in the usual way that it's not meant to be tingly.
But does it hurt?
Yeah. It's not the good kind of pain, it's the bad kind.
I mean, Goo, you rolled. You believe her. She's in pain.
I don't know. I've seen it take a lot more than this.
The only way this pain is gonna go away is if you personally carry me over into the room. Ooh.
Now you're probably thinking that this is fake.
I'll do it. I'm not stopping it, but I'll do it.
So by this time, the three of you will have entered the room. And you see not too many prototypes. There's four of them in total. The first one is a fully constructed version of the small box that you had seen. The one that is intended to heat items.
Ooh.
The second one you see is a quill, and you see that there is a machine-like glove that is wrapped around it. And you see that it is currently it is resting on a small pedestal of sorts. The glove has the quill in its fingers, and the wrist is sort of bound around the pedestal, and in front of it you see a piece of paper, a blank sheet of paper. The third thing that you see appears to be just a set of glasses, about pretty thick round glasses, and you can see that there are little etchings along the side of it, with different little components that go around it. And the fourth one that you see is a very, very cubed box. You can see that there is a small button on the back of it, and there appears to be a circular piece of glass affixed into the front of it. And as you kind of look around it, there's also two small ports, where you see that there are where one of them appears to have a crystal inside of it, and the other one appears to have a sort of window in it. So what are you guys? Which one are you guys going for?
I'm going for the hand quill.
The hand quill?
First.
Okay. Nathan, which one are you interested in?
I'm pretty curious about the glasses.
Okay, and Ophelia?
You said something about a window, right?
Yeah. So cube. All right. So weird cube, glasses and quill. Okay. So we'll start with you, Ezreal. As you go over to the glove, as you kind of examine it and get closer, you're not really figuring out what it does. You do see that it is big enough that you could put your hand in.
Put my hand in.
Okay, so as you do it, it kind of affixes around your hand, and then it begins to glow.
Ooh. Now what?
What are you thinking at this moment?
Now what?
The glove, you will feel your hand being moved, and the quill will write "now what" on the piece of paper.
Ooh. That's cool.
Holding it for a while. It'll about a minute of you just kind of messing around with it. It'll release, and as you kind of pull your hand out, the glove will continue glowing.
Think.
Uh-huh.
My name is Ezreal.
You'll see the thing will move very awkwardly and write, "My name is Ezreal."
This is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Is that what you write? Is that what you think?
Yes.
It'll start writing that as well. And as it kind of gets to the end of "this is the coolest thing I've ever seen," you will see sparks come out of it, and it'll turn off.
Oh. I guess it's done.
Broken.
Probably, yeah. It unfortunately malfunctions. Yeah, he is, but that invention is essentially a telepathic writer. You can just think it, and it'll write it down on a sheet of paper for you.
Ooh.
All right, so Nathan was doing the glasses. All right, so this one has a bit more of a danger factor to it.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
You don't know that. All right, so you go ahead and you're just messing with them, or are you putting them on?
I'm first going to look at the the symbols and indicators around it, because I'm guessing he may have seen the equivalent of a spyglass or binoculars where you can change the focus. So he might be thinking that that's what they do.
Yep, so as you kind of pick up the glasses and you begin examining them, the etchings around them, they're small mechanical components, and as you're kind of messing with them a little bit, you see that the glasses seem to like get different tinges to them. So you get the sense that these definitely do something, but you can't quite tell without putting them on.
I get the idea they could be settings, basically.
Basically, yeah, like settings.
All right, let's put these on.
All right, so there are 4 buttons. There's a red button, a green button, a blue button, and a yellow button. Which one are you pressing?
Red, green, blue, and yellow, you said?
Mhm.
Okay. I'm going to look at red first.
Red, okay. So as you go ahead and press the button, I'm going to roll a D100. Okay. So as you press the button on the red, the whole area around you goes pure red for a moment. And you're kind of looking around, you're like, okay, I don't really seeing anything. And then you just out of your peripheral vision, there's just a small orb that enters and goes away. And as you kind of look over to see where that came from, you see another orb enter your vision, go away. And then you start to see more. And then you actually watch as a full figure enters the room, goes past you, and leaves.
Figure like recognizably a humanoid creature.
Like a humanoid of sorts, yeah. Enters the room and goes out.
Looks like our host, or...
It is a completely... You can see through them. It is definitely a spirit of sorts.
Servant. An unseen servant.
Make an Arcana check.
Spirit orbs.
Well, it was a 3 on the die. One moment.
Welcome to Nathan's first playthrough of Phasmophobia.
I mean, 18 in total.
18. You get the sense just from the randomness of it all, you're probably looking into the ethereal plane at this point. At this moment.
Okay.
But it is a
That
very
is-
limited range. You're not quite sure how far out or how close. But it is very limited.
Okay. What does blue do?
Blue? Alright, let's take a look at blue. Okay. You have dark vision already, right?
I do, yes.
You're not really feeling much of a difference as you switch over to blue.
Okay. Yellow?
Okay. I keep rolling higher and higher. This is good for you.
Okay, the fact that Eric is rolling dice makes me worried.
As
Same.
you switch over to yellow, the frames will turn this tinge of yellow, and the entire area around you will brighten up. Like almost as if someone just lit a light, just turned on a light in here. But as you kind of lift the glasses up, it is the same sort of darkness that it was. Put them back
Okay.
on, and it's light again.
Okay. All right, and then I'm going to try green. Might as well.
Uh-oh.
Here's how I go blind.
Yeah, actually, I need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Ah, yes, those. Very good at them. So that's a 9, I believe.
A 9 in total.
Not everyone has resilient con. They should, but they don't.
So as you switch over to green, as it's starting to switch over, you see things getting much closer, and then closer, and then closer, and all of you start watching as there are sparks coming off of the glasses, and then you just feel you see the lenses very rapidly changing color until it changes to yellow, and there's a large flash of light in your eyes. You are blind.
I just flashbanged my own self.
You are blind. You are blind for 1 minute.
Are you alright?
I think the screen just went out. I can't see anything. One moment. I'm just gonna wait for a little bit, like.
All right, and okay, so Ophelia, you were going to look at the box, right?
Hell yeah.
All right, so you go over, and as you kind of pick up the box in your hand, it's very interesting to look at. As you kind of lift it up a bit more and kind of get a closer look at it, you see that there's a small window, a small port that opens on the side with the button. Just a little. What would you like to do?
I guess I'll investigation check it.
Make an investigation check.
And at 20.
Nat 20'd. Alright, so
Yeah.
you're kind of examining it, and as you move it up, just to kind of hold it up and get a closer look, you actually look through the hole and you can see out the other side of the box.
I wonder if I can get Dane to stick his fingers through this.
Well, it's a window. There's a piece
Oh,
of glass.
okay.
There's a piece of glass there.
This is it?
You kind of mess around as you click the button. You all watch as the crystal in the front will flash, and then you'll just hear the
It's a
box.
camera.
Yeah, you'll hear the box rumbling for a moment, and then there's a very loud ding as the front of the box will open for a moment, and you will watch as a sheet of paper just floats out from it. Just kind of as paper does. And as you pick it up, it is a black and white image, or is a black and white depiction of exactly what you had the box pointed at when you pressed the button.
Nice.
Yes, this is a camera. This is his early attempt at a camera.
Do I notice this?
You all see the flash. Well, everyone but Nathan.
I'll take off the mask. Time to take the world's first selfie, boys.
Alright, so you take the box and flip it around, and what do you do? You just kind of stare at it? Do you smile at all?
Yeah, smile, do the peace sign, and take.
Are you actually doing all that? You need 2 hands to hold the thing. It's big and bulky.
a hand and a mage hand.
Are you actually doing like peace sign, or are you just taking a picture of yourself?
Taking a picture.
Alright, so you kind of prepare yourself. See if it malfunctions. Nope. There's a flash of light in your face, and you make a con save actually.
Ooh.
Because this would be your first time ever having your picture taken. I'm gonna see if you blink.
25.
25?
Actually, no, 23. 23, my bad.
23? Okay. Alright, you managed to not blink. As it in your face, and you hear the box. Ding! And there will be a piece of paper that has your visage on it, in black and white.
You do have an annoying dot in your vision for a little bit, though.
Yeah, there's a little dot in your vision for a while from the flash of light.
Look at that! Do me!
You want to take a picture of Ezra?
I'll take a picture of Ezreal.
See if it malfunctions. No, not yet. 74. It
Not
does
yet.
not malfunction yet. So, Ezreal, make a con save. See if you blink.
That's a 17.
17. It is a pretty high DC because you're not used to just having a light blast in your face, and it's not a small light either. It's basically like someone just threw a mini sun in your face. But flash, you blink, you still have the smile on your face, but as the machine, ding, the image comes out, and you did blink in your photo.
Oh.
But you still have your smile.
Look at this loser blinking. Imagine.
How did you not blink?
Nathan, about this time, you will, after hearing this machine a couple of times, your vision will come back to you.
It's because I'm poggers.
And you will see them with this big box.
I realized about that time it wasn't the screen that was all dark.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Alright. It's up to you guys if you want to keep messing with the camera or put it down.
I have no idea that it does the flash thing.
Sure.
I think I'll leave it be.
Okay. Alright, does anyone want to mess around with the microwave at all?
I do. I want to heat up some rations.
Alright, so as you go over, so rations are dried meats that you put into water, but as you go over to the thing, you will actually see that there is a pot, a pot where there'd be some soup, and bowls next to it. The soup seems a little old, maybe an hour or so old. And some bowls next to this machine. And there's a ladle in the soup.
Okay.
So you assume you're gonna pour yourself
Ladle
a bowl of
up a soup.
Alright, you ladle
and
yourself
put
in a
it in the
bowl of soup,
microwave.
and as you kind of look at it, you see that there's a handle in the front of it that as you kind of pull on it, it'll just kind of lift upward. And as it lifts up, you see the crystals begin to start glowing. And as you set the bowl inside and you reclose it, there will be a flash and a small arcane symbol that will appear just underneath the handle, and it will just glow there for a moment. You all will watch as there is a light that emits from the front of this. You wait about a minute trying to figure out if this thing is broken or not before the glow subsides and the symbol disappears. As you grab it and you lift it up, you will see a hot bowl of soup in front of you.
Is it evenly heated, or is it
Reach
like
in, the bowl is hot.
Are
Well,
there
as you
hot
reach in, the
spots?
bowl's hot.
And the soup is cold.
You
Okay.
pull it out and you kind of lift it up. As you don't really have like a spoon, you sort of just lift it up to your mouth and sip it, and it's warm. It
Cool.
is a warm bowl of soup.
Warm soup. All right, warm soup. We did it, boys.
Yeah.
Session's over.
I mean, to all your characters, this is an amazing new technology.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Exactly.
this kind of soup would take hours to make, and then another like 15-20 minutes before it heats up again with a standard fire.
Yeah.
Hey man, we're spoiled.
All
If we were in the Middle Ages, oh god, this
Cool.
would be witchcraft. But yeah, you have a piping.
No, I'm actually like stoked about this. I ate the soup.
During this time,
Hold on a minute, I gotta get into preparation because
Dayton-
Goo did say that he's going to carry me into the room in order to make the pain go away. So, hold on.
So
Continue.
Dayton and Goo. Goo, are you actually gonna like carry Dayton?
I'm going to carry her over to the door.
Uh-huh.
Do I get the sense that this door will be trapped?
You're taking it. Are you taking it to the prototype room, or are you taking it to Galvarax's personal chambers?
Personal chambers.
Oh my god! He told you not to.
You told him not to, so now he will. This is your fault.
He said
I'm
not
going
to,
to
but he
take-
also said there were
I'm-
good stuff in there. Of course they told us not to
I'm
get in
going to
there.
take her over to the door outside of the doorway, hold her about, yay high, like 3 feet off the ground, and then just drop her.
Luckily, it was not 5 feet, or you would have taken a d6 of falling damage.
Hmm. I'll get up.
And I'm gonna walk away.
All right, so you are in front of the door. You can hear your companions about 2 doors down messing with some of the inventions.
Well, while they're messing around with that stuff, I will be messing around with stuff that clearly should be more interesting.
All right?
Very carefully, I'm going to check the knob to see whether or not it will move.
It is unlocked.
I will open the door.
Once I hear the door open,
Uh-huh.
Daytona, I mean it, if you break something, I will set that off. And you can die.
There's a. Wait, no, hold on. The tingly thing is that's an actual thing. What'd you do?
Don't
I'll
worry
actually
about
let. No, I'm actually gonna let go of the handle. I'm gonna turn directly to and go. What did you do?
I channeled all of the key points in your body.
I don't care what it involves. What did you do?
I channeled all of the key points in your body.
You
And
told
if
me
you
that.
do anything wrong, I will set them off. And it will either hurt really, really bad, or you die.
I have not done anything wrong in my entire life, and you do this to me.
And you'll continue doing nothing wrong in your entire life. Or I'll do it to you.
Alright.
I'll fucking show you, and I'll go through the room.
Okay. As you enter into Galvarax's private chambers that he specifically told you not to go into,
Hmm.
You will see that there are several workbenches that are set up with tubes and casings, some pieces of tinkering and engineering equipment. You see what looks to be self-contained cylinders that constantly have streams of lightning going through them. You can see that there are a couple of knickknacks that are on a shelf that seem to be small clockwork toys that he has. One thing that stands out to you, however, is currently on his desk is an incomplete firearm. There are
Okay.
chambers on the side of it, where you can see that there are more of those self-contained lightning cylinders. Like I said, for the most part, it is incomplete. There isn't even a firing mechanism for it yet.
Hmm.
You see what appears to be a hilt of some kind that has small arcane symbols that go around it. You also see, kind of lying next to his, kind of set up next to his bed, there is a rather large rifle of some kind, fully built, with a compartment in the bottom of it that currently has what we would refer to as a magazine put into it.
Does it look like that also fits in with the small electronic, electric things that you're talking about, or is that some?
It is not.
Okay.
This is a separate thing altogether. However, this item is fully constructed, and you also see currently sleeping, but you can't quite tell considering it's a robot. There is a mechanical mastiff that is laying on his bed.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. All right. Um, does it look like the Mastiff has anything on it that signifies whether or not it's on or off?
Make an investigation check.
This is gonna go expediently. Oh, I actually rolled a natural 20 on that. How about that?
Wow.
So a 20. What's my investigation? Just a 2, so it'd be 22.
It appears to be off.
All right. I'm going to attempt to do the safe option.
Mhm.
I want to get a hold of one of these electric canisters. Like, are
Okay.
they big, small? Like,
They're about this big around.
Okay.
All right, so you pick it up, and as you kind of are holding onto it, you see the arcs of lightning kind of go up to where your fingers are. And kind of just follow your fingers.
Ooh. Does it seem like it has it feels weird saying this, and I'm trying to think of it as a stupid character. Does it have an option for it to set off?
Would you like to mess with it, and would you like to mess around with it until you figure out if it can be set off or not?
Not here.
Okay. So, no. There are
Okay.
small nodes, there are small, like, points at either side of it, but you don't know if that would set them off or not.
Okay, at the very least, this thing is fun for me to touch and does weird things, so I am going to at least pocket one of those.
Alright, so as you're kind of messing around with it and you're going to pocket it, there is a lurch, and I need you to make a dexterity check.
How dare you?
That's everybody, by the way. Anyone who's currently standing.
Rolled a 12 plus 9 for 21.
21, okay.
10 plus 11 for 21.
Okay.
10.
Okay. Ezreal?
7.
And,
11.
What?
you need-
Dexterity saving throw.
Oh, I didn't say saving throw. I said check.
Oh, dexterity check. Okay, so if that was the case, that's 12 plus 2 is for 14.
14. Okay.
16.
16.
15.
15.
And I lose.
10. Nathan?
Oh, 10. Still 10.
Okay. So, Nathan and Ophelia, both of you fall. Like, it is so sudden, you don't even, it's not like a saving throw where you have a chance to react. It's just, this is happening, you have to do this in the moment. You both just, oh god, hit the ground. And Ozra, what'd you roll again?
16.
16, okay. So as you kind of have to grab onto the side of the table as the whole building like lurches for a moment. And then Goo, you rolled a
15.
15. All right, yeah, you as well. You have to kind of like steady yourself. You grab a wall, but you manage not to fall over. Daytona, you also fall. I'll be
The
nice.
room of unsafeness.
I'll be nice to you. Call high or low.
Low.
56.
Ooh.
So as you're going to pocket it, the whole building lurches, and you kind of react a little too late. You manage to catch the side of the side of one of the workbenches, and steady yourself, but not before you kind of fall forward enough that your momentum carries, and the glass object in your hand slips and against the floor.
Does anything happen?
You watch as there is a brief flash of lightning as the stored energy breaks free, and you kind of shield your eyes. Goo, you have a pretty high passive perception. You definitely heard something break.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Alright, so Daytona, as you're just standing there like, oh god, what happened? You hear as Goo is rapidly coming down the hallway.
It's time to think stupid. Think how do get out.
I'll save 10 seconds in real time to give me a solution.
All right. In the immediate, if there's another canister, immediately grab it. Dimension door, what I think is probably 50 feet in the direction towards the lobby, and just go there. Just panic dimension door.
So,
Oh,
Goo,
Daytona.
So Goo, as you're coming down the hall and about to and just opening the door, there's a flash of energy. And as you open the door, you will see a shattered glass. You see a shattered glass vial on the floor.
Honey, I'm home.
For the rest of you, as you're still experimenting with your... You either choose to be experimenting or come out at this point. It's up to you. You did hear the glass shatter.
I'm gonna
I can't
try...
mend that shit.
I'm gonna try to take more pictures of myself and not blink.
Alright. So as you go to take a picture this time, you click the button and you hear...
Oh, I guess that's it.
Just because I'm curious. Yep, so as you hear the go off, you're like, well, I guess that's it. The port in the front will open. And paper will just start shooting out of the camera. And paper will just start flying around the room now.
Oh no, and it's all photosensitive paper. It's all ruined. Oh dear. Okay. I'm just gonna, put it down and walk away.
You're not even gonna clean up, just leave. Cleaning it up.
Well, is it done? I'm gonna wait till it's done.
I mean, it's about 90-ish sheets of paper that are just out.
Wait, I'm there and you say it's photosensitive paper?
Uh-huh.
Darkness.
No, I mean, you guys don't know what photosensitive paper is.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah. Would not
means.
know what that is. I might know the term, but yeah.
No one would ever use that term before. This technology hasn't existed until this point.
No,
Hell yeah.
never
I don't think
done that.
photosensitive. I don't think that term was first used with technology, but I see your point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll scoop it up and do a neat little pile and kind of put it off to the side.
Okay.
And it's fine. It's just paper. It's fine.
So Goo, what are you up to?
Well, I can't mend this shit.
You cannot.
I guess I'll scoop up the pieces into a bag or something.
All right. At which point, Daytona, as you're kind of pocketing your thing, you will hear footsteps coming towards the meeting area.
I was not in the room, therefore I am perfectly content with just.
That's why I'm letting you know.
I know.
Make a stealth check for me.
Wait. Why do I need to make a stealth check? What?
Because you're trying to pocket a cylinder of lightning.
God.
It lets off a glow.
Okay. 16 plus 5. It's not bad. It's 21.
Okay. So Goo, you finished cleaning it up. Are you just staying in the room, or are you leaving the room?
I'm leaving the room.
Okay. So Galvarax will reappear in the meeting area and say, "All right, well, we're there."
I was wondering what that lurch was about.
Yes, just a quick. Where are the others?
Well, they were looking at your prototypes like you were talking about, so I assumed that they were having quite an experience. I just figured I'd just stay here and just contemplate about where we were going.
And he has no reason to disbelieve you.
I assume I walk back into the room at this point.
Yeah, you come back in.
This is yours.
Galvarax answers. He goes, "Oh, Lovely. Are the others behind you? We're here.
Oh, I handed him the bag.
Okay, take the
I
bag.
scooped everything into.
What's this?
No
Goo.
idea.
He'll open it.
Did something happen in the prototype room, Goo?
He would know. I could
he'll-
hurt her for you if you want.
He'll look at it and pull out one of the nodes, and then like kind of glare at you and say, "Did you enter my chambers?"
Me?
Yes, you.
After her she did, but yeah.
I would never. He said to not go
Make
in
a-
there, and I did not go
Make a
in there.
deception check. Make a persuasion check.
Oh god.
Me?
Yes, you. You're the one who's trying to convince him.
17
That's
plus
fair.
8 for 25, if my math is correct.
No.
Regardless of the situation, I know this is not going to end well for Daytona.
6.
6 total.
Yes.
Oh.
The one thing Goo can't do well on. Being charismatic.
No.
You understand that when someone tells you not to go into their personal chambers, it's for a reason, correct?
And I'm a man of honesty that follows that reason. Unfortunately, Sticky Fingers over there doesn't.
Well, the only thing that I heard was glass breaking. What must have happened was when you stopped, something just fell off your table. That's the only thing I could think of. Because Goo is right. He doesn't do anything wrong. But if he did, no, I'm sorry.
He goes past. I need to check if artificers get this spell.
If it's Fireball, I
Is
don't
it
think
Zone of
artificers
Truth?
do. If it's Zone of Truth, I might be fucked.
What do you mean might be? He knows you're lying even if you pass.
What do you mean?
He knows
If you-
you're lying.
If you pass the check, you still lose because he
Yeah,
knows you're
He
lying.
knows that you lied to him.
What, like glass breaking is just one of those things, like if you hear it, it's like, well, I guess.
Can I see the thing glowing in his pockets? Or her
Make a
pockets?
perception check.
I don't know what was in there. Are you fucking kidding me? It's a nat 20 plus whatever. 31?
Yes, you can.
Daytona.
Hmm?
Give it.
Do you pull it out?
I don't know what you're talking about.
At that point, Galvarax has like kind of turned around curiously.
The thing in your pockets.
Do I really have to show it?
Yes. It's not yours.
Oh, okay. I'll go ahead and I'll reach into my pack and pull out my set of weighted dice.
Wrong.
No, I know these are yours, but I've been meaning to give it back. And if you want
Not
them,
that.
we can do
Those aren't even mine.
it. You
You know what I'm
asked for
talking
these.
about.
I don't know what you're talking
I'll
about.
do it.
That you would not. You don't have the balls to do it. You won't do
Ezreal
it.
can bring you back at any point in time. I don't care.
You're not
I'll
gonna
do it.
You won't do it. You won't.
You don't even know what I'm gonna do.
I don't, and that's why I say you won't do it.
Do you do it, Goo?
kind of
No,
want
he
to.
won't.
Like
You know, he won't
like
respect your threats if you don't
Do
do it.
it. Do it.
again, me, the player, is like, there is no good situation out of Daytona for this, and I love it. Anyway,
Ezreal.
Do it. Do it.
Ezreal, you hear Goo calling you.
Yeah. Papers.
I'll wait till she gets into the
file.
room.
Go.
Okay, so Ezreal comes into the room.
Dayton has something in his pockets that he stole from Galvarax.
I do. First, I would never
What?
steal from the. I would never steal.
Galvarax is
Stealing is above me.
He has two
Daytona?
options. Give it back, or I'm going to do it.
I don't. Why do you gotta?
Daytona.
Oh no, I don't need you to help me threaten. I need you to bring her back if she dies.
I've done nothing wrong, and I will not die. I will not. I have done nothing wrong. I have been honorable. I have been charitable, and I have been gracious as a guest under this household.
Daytona. If you die, you owe me a diamond.
And unless something happened to your artifact that lets your pockets glow.
Make a perception check, Ezreal.
That is
Luke, you are
Okay.
positively purple.
25.
25, you also see it. The thing is, you rolled really well. Like, they're just really good at it. They're just really good
Oh,
at it.
I know.
Fix the screen glare.
I was gonna say the
Yeah.
high wisdom characters. They're good for something. It's seeing
Really good at
everything.
perception.
Okay, fine. If it's not the weighted dice, is it the horn? Is it the horn? I will give you the horn.
What about the glowing thing in your pocket?
There is not a glowing thing in my
Galvarax-
pocket.
Galvarax is going to redo his perception check because people are actually drawing his attention to it now.
I feel like Nathan at this point is going to come in because there are raised voices.
Oh hell. You got it for a second and that's still fucked.
I know. I don't know how to do it.
It's
Alright,
Ezreal, so you have the beam of light framing your face.
So, Daytona, Galvarax will approach you. He'll put his hand in your pocket and pull the cylinder out.
What on earth is that? Okay, fine. I was in the room. Fuck's sake.
Daytona? Why were you in the room?
Because there was obviously cool stuff, and he proceeded to say, "Don't go in my room because there's cool stuff in there." I had to see it.
Call high or low?
Daytona.
Low. I swear to you, I did not touch anything besides that one cylinder. On gods of every plane of existence, that cylinder that you have in your hands is the only thing that I
think it's for the best you all teleport back to where you came from. If you can't be bothered to follow simple instructions, I want you nowhere near the High Overseer, or the High Overlord.
What?
All of you, leave. Now.
Dude, this is just supposed to be a bit.
It's not a bit.
Eric.
It's not a bit.
This is a
You
big
guys
No,
have
there's only-
Besides helping in Swindon, you have no prior relationship with the Daywalkers. The two contracts you guys were a part of, you had failed to uphold your part in, and you have strictly disobeyed the orders of one of the members of the Daywalker Council.
If there is one individual that has broken the rules, it is me.
I do not care. I want none of you.
I know you don't care, but They did not break their word, only I did. As such, I will leave your household. They deserve to be seeing the high. They deserved there. I intended to do this for fun, but it's clear that,
You're an idiot.
of course, I'm a fool. And a fool is not welcome in the court. So,
Be that as
I will
it
take my
may,
leave.
Be that as it may, you are not the only one with no fault here. He looks at Yugo. You clearly knew that they
No,
were
he
just
is not.
doing this.
He is not. That broken piece was my doing. All he did was scoop up the pieces to help alleviate the mess that I created. They have no fault in this, only me.
He will not change his demeanor. Galvarax is a man. Once your trust is broken, it is broken.
Well,
I'm sorry.
we
I'm sorry.
lost.
I'm sorry.
We
I'm
lost
sorry.
the
I
entire
fucked up.
campaign.
I'm sorry. I fucked it. I fucked it again. How do I do it? How do I do it? How do I?
Sorry, it's how it. Sorry.
I wanted to have fun and then. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's
That's
fine.
No, it's not.
Jordan.
No, it's not
Yes.
fine. No.
I'm not gonna go
no.
through this again.
hi everyone. Sorry, we took a brief intermission to let tensions cool for a moment. But as all of you are kind of just standing there, Galvarax, calm demeanor, just says, there are many things that are off limits. And you must understand from my perspective. And you must understand that as a representative from your group. That this does not just weigh on you. I will inform them that we had that there was a change of plans.
Was it Daytona that got the contract or not?
I don't remember. I think it was Ezreal, actually. Yeah, I think Ezreal grabbed
Hand
the
it
box.
over.
I think Ezreal grabbed the box.
Hand it over.
Are you going to say anything, or just going to give him the box?
Here.
Takes it. And this is?
It was supposed to be a contract, a temporary ceasefire, in order to stop the end of the world, but our journey ends here. Whatever you want to do with it is up to you.
Make a...
Hey.
Go ahead and make a persuasion roll. Yeah, straight persuasion roll.
Nat 20.
Would you want me to do it at disadvantage?
Nat 20.
It would be a disadvantage, but you guys do they do still technically owe you a favor, and in this situation, that's basically countering the disadvantage. This isn't like you guys are coming here as fresh people. You did help them in a big way.
Was David saying nat 20 because that's a portent?
Yes,
Okay, so you're giving him a nat 20.
Okay.
Okay.
just in case.
Yeah, so that's kind of countering it. Had you guys not done what you did, then it absolutely would have been a disadvantage. But in this situation, there is still a favor to be owed, to be paid. So he will take it. He will open it, and he will pull out the contract. He will say, "Await my word. I will give this to the High Overlord, and I will present it to the best of my abilities. And I will let you know if we reach an accord."
Ezreal, you mind giving him the diamond?
What?
Just give him the diamond. It's just something to say we're sorry for it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, he will accept it. Alright, well, I will let you know how negotiations go. That's the end of it. That's the last thing he says.
We teleport back.
Alright. So we'll see if anything happens. Nope. Alright, so you guys will reappear in front of your household.
Well, that's just splendid now, isn't it?
Pardon me while I go find a corner of the room to bash my head in.
Say...
Daytona, I'm very disappointed in you.
Goo,
So am I.
you will get a message that'll just say... It'll be from Galvarax, and he'll say, "I will be able to give you a response by tomorrow morning."
I appreciate it.
As all of you enter into the household. If you'd like to, some of you can stay outside, go for a walk, do whatever you need to do.
I'm gonna go back in.
Okay, so you guys head back in. Or so as Ophelia heads back in. Is anyone else, or is anyone gonna go walk around?
I'm staying at the outside of the house. I am finding a corner and I am bashing my head into it.
Alright, so you kind of sit up against a wall. You start not hitting your head against it. Ezreal, you gonna go for a walk, or
Sure,
it's up to you.
that's fine.
Okay. So Ezreal takes a walk. Goop, would you like to join her?
As she's leaving, I will inform Ezreal. Gonna point up, and I'm gonna start scaling our house.
Okay.
As you do.
As you do.
I just want to sit on the roof and view the city as high as I can and reflect.
So Ezreal, you are being invited to the roof.
No, I'm not. I mean, I guess I invite her if she wants, but I was just gonna go up there
Would
and
you like to go to the roof
look.
with Goop?
I'll go to the roof.
Aw.
Aw, little rooftop together. Nathan, anything you're doing?
I don't know that there's any way to. I'm very strongly to whisper a spell cast in chat, like in Roll20, just to make it a little bit harder for Daytona to like lie to us about how she's doing at the moment.
You'd like to suggest?
No. I'm doing that, I think. I'm coming over to Daytona and
it's not really super subtle for that spell, but okay.
No, but like, you know.
Although Daytona, what's your passive perception? I assume you're not really paying too much attention to your surroundings in the moment.
No, passive would be 13.
13, okay. All right. Make a stealth check, Nathan.
Let's see. I'm just doing it in the client so everyone can see.
Okay. All right. So it goes off. What would you like to do from there?
I realize that Daytona probably needs some time to process, but Nathan will come over and if you ever just want to talk, I can certainly be a willing ear. I think we've had a pretty rough few days, all of us have, and I don't know anyone who comes through such a set of days with everything all pretty. There'll be tea waiting for you inside. And he'll go in toward the kitchen.
Okay.
Unless Daytona like stops him or somewhere.
There'll probably be a moment where you'll probably see her look at you and seem to try to think about if she wants to say anything, but no.
Okay. All right. So you make your way back inside it. Ophelia, you were first in. And as you enter, you see Talon kind of looks surprised and says, "You're back quickly. Everything go?
No,
What happened?
Daytona happened.
Oh. You hungry?
Yeah, I could use something to eat right now.
We were actually, yeah. He'll kind of bring out some stuff, and at this point, it's just kind of you and him in the room. He'll bring out some of the hors d'oeuvres that Nathan prepared. Nathan, entering in, you see Talon giving Ophelia some food.
Anyone else showed up yet?
Goo's on the roof, Ezra's on the roof, Daytona's outside.
Oh, I meant like I meant like
Third
NPCs.
party.
Oh, no one yet. Nothing yet. Like I said, you guys weren't gone for maybe About an hour.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So does that mean it's over, or what's happening?
Don't know.
All right. Well, we planned for this, so if that is the case, we have methods.
Hmm.
We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
He'll eat some food. Goo and Ezreal, you two on the roof. You'd like to talk about anything?
I know you don't want me to, but still do the thing.
What?
Oh, I didn't get. You weren't in the room.
You guys are on the roof.
No, she wasn't in the room when I punched Dayton and threatened him.
Oh
Or
yeah.
Daytona.
Oh okay. Daytona, make a Constitution save.
So
I'm not doing it.
Oh, you're not doing it. Okay.
I'm not doing it yet, but
Okay.
it lasts for 17 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not letting go on it just out of curiosity.
Okay. So Ezreal, you're being told he can still do it if you want him to.
I set up vibrations in her body. I didn't realize I could do it until last night, actually.
Probably not a good idea.
Yeah. And then I will end them there.
All right. So
Daytona, you will feel.
Yeah. As you're still kind of gently knocking your head against the side of the house, you will feel that trembling in your body go away.
Still doing it. Doesn't matter.
Just something you notice. Okay. Well, I mean, you guys if the party just kind of wants to take this day to themselves and just in sadness or anger, they can.
It is going to be a good hour for Daytona to be outside before eventually she does come back in.
Okay, as you're coming back in, you'll see during that time a few people have joined. You see Ezekiel down there. You see Headmaster Everon has joined as well, and they're kind of just discussing what happened. And Talon will look over at you, Daytona. Get up. Everyone else kind of just goes back talking. He'll get up, come over to you, and just hug you. And he's just gonna say, "We'll figure it out. Don't worry."
It would have been easier to figure out if I didn't fuck up.
Don't. It's okay. We still have a lot of people. And if they're going to be that butthurt, if they're going to get butthurt over something that tiny, then how useful are they going to be as allies?
I'm going to get some tea. I'll be right back.
He'll let you go and just kind of give you just a grip on the shoulder before you walk away.
And if Nathan is still there as 30 hours passed, I will go to meet him.
Nathan would be in the kitchen, I assume.
Yep.
Dad in the kitchen.
If nothing else, I can overhear the different conversations drift from one to the other.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so you go into the kitchen and you see that there's already a pot of tea ready.
So what was it like in the prototype room?
It was interesting. There were some pretty neat. There was a neat set of lenses you could put over your eyes that could, I think, see ghosts and probably blind you. Found that one out. Didn't test that one again. There was a thing that would take a likeness of you, put it on a piece of paper. That was nice. The button got stuck or something. That'll not be nice. Later to clean up. And there was a writing thing that it could give a voice to the voiceless. It's interesting work. Could also be useful for spy stuff. Just neat things, really.
Huh. They all sound like fun.
We may have stopped using them when they stopped working. So, take it with a grain of salt.
Silly me. Here I am thinking, oh, cool stuff's in there. All I got was some lightning container. He had some half-done gun that was supposed to probably use them for something, and then he had an even bigger fucking thing. Don't know if the dog was a part of it, but the dog was
He had
interesting.
He had a lightning dog.
No, it
Gun
was
dog?
it was
How do you?
it was like all the other golems. It was mechanized. I was worried it would activate and I don't know, try to bite my arm off, but
Explain to me how you pet a lightning dog.
Very carefully, of course.
it wasn't the dog's bite that I have to worry about.
It was a strange situation. I've certainly been prone to curiosity, as well.
Well, I could have gotten away with it.
Luke, cat.
I absolutely could have. It's just that Goo. And not that I blame him, but Goo, he was absolutely adamant to try to expose me. All I wanted was a souvenir, and instead he had to get upset.
Is he the one who broke the whatever broke?
No, it was me. I intended to... Well, to be honest, I tried to make him a fall guy in some regard, but even then I was trying to make sure that he wasn't going to get any flack.
It's an odd thing. I confess I spent a bit of time thinking about going invisible and just putting myself in front of the door so that nothing could happen. Just early on. And then I didn't because I was more interested in trying a thing that blinded me. So that's how wise I am. Fine diplomat I'd be. Oh, come over here. It might only blind you. Oh, that's great. I'll press this button and then this one. Play roulette until I've got an eye, maybe, left. Still. I wouldn't blame... I don't think I can blame a man for wanting the truth to come out earlier rather than later. Something like that. I don't know. Oh God, I'm Irish again. My Wednesday character, I'm so sorry. I don't know exactly what he puts into his creatures, but a dog, if it's not a dog made of flesh and bone, could have a recording device in it or something else. And if there's someone I don't want to find out later about a lie, it's someone who's representing you in front of whoever this overseer is, overlord. What I'm sort of trying to get at is the truth here would be a lot less disastrous, I think, than the truth getting out later. If the overseer had agreed to do something and then changed his mind later because a recording got out or something like that, and we were in the middle of a fight when it happened. Now that would spell the end, I think. But no one up front. All right. If they help us, they help us. If they don't, they don't. But we're not relying on help that isn't going to be there. If they do, you know? If they help us, it'll be genuine. I'd rather have a slenderer bridge to stand on that I can trust than a wider, broader one that I can't, right? And you've helped us there.
Not a good help I am.
You're the most convincing person I know. Might not be for a little bit, but aside from that, you're a good orator. You'd
Can I
be a
say
fine
I'm
diplomat.
I've had to learn to lie so well that I can't even define it to be truthful or not myself. I've lived that life for a very long time.
Yeah. And it sucks too. When you're living that life, when each town knows you by a different name, or each group you meet with knows you by a different voice, and you start to blend them together. Sending stones where my touchstones and memories of good people. I always figured, I don't know if it's going to work out this way for you, but I always figured that no matter how lost I got into the lies that I had to weave, I always had people who could bring me back. I think the last few days have shown you, at least I hope they have, that your family's going to be there for you. They're not going to let you get lost in the lies you have to tell to make the world a better place. And it'll get better.
There are many nights that I actually go to sleep and I think about all of them. And I sometimes ask myself, do you really deserve them? And do they deserve everything that you do to them? I feel like real shit for having done this to them.
I do think they're not a group that would hold resentment. I do think they would let you know. The people who choose you to be part of their lives are choosing it. It's not being imposed on them by you. Sometimes we cannot see the angle that they're looking at that makes us seem like something worthwhile to have in their days, but they are choosing that. And they're choosing you.
But
And
are they really choosing me because of who I am and not because of this? And I'll tap at the rapier and the armor.
I understand that in the past few days we've reached out to a lot of people who could be shoved into the heroic archetype. But they're not here all the time. You are. One moment. I'm going to take like 5 seconds just try to get back into the voice because I'm going so very badly not at all.
Dinger dinger.
Bogard.
Don't worry about it. Take your time. Take your time. Luke's playing Pokemon Go. It's okay.
Y'all know what's happening. No one says it, but we all know.
Depressals.
I'm not sure that people necessarily distinguish between the parts of you that would be there no matter what and the parts that would be there after the magic were gone.
Luke, your cat wants to give you love. Let it love you.
Daytona, the things that you can do are a part of who you are. And it's true that there are wondrous things, but they're not the only wondrous thing about you. I certainly hope that you'll still respond to letters if I have to retire and watch my daughter go off and become a badass with a very high chance of being hurt.
I mean, I would try, but even then,
You're worried that if you weren't you, we wouldn't like you?
no, it's not that. I've kind of accepted that there's not really a point to hiding Daytona away from the world. That she needs time to be herself, but it's everything after. It always comes back to after. I'm so scared that all this time, all this effort, all of everything that they've worked on, and if I fuck up, I'm ruining their future. I mean, fuck mine. Mine's already broken anyway. But I think about Ophelia, you know, apparently having problems with her own family, hoping that they get back together. I think about Gu and Esriel. They've been getting together more and more often, and I can't let them just slip away. You know, I want them to have their own future. It's when I do wrong, I think about all the good things that they deserve, and I feel like I'm breaking it when I make mistakes.
And it's a hard feeling. You know that the choices we are making, some of them are going to be wrong choices because we didn't know the right information, because someone didn't arrive in time or too early. And that it sucks. It's hard. It does not lessen that someone has to be making choices and taking risks. And we happen to be the ones who drew the short straws. And there's a lot riding on it. Do you know anyone you hate so much that you'd put it on them instead? Turn it around a bit. Well, I guess what I'm getting at is it's okay to really not be making the right choice all the time. If you're getting it right most of the time, that's probably good enough. And frankly, there aren't that many people that we would necessarily trust that responsibility to. Even though I don't agree with you that your future is broken either way, I do think that I've never seen a person more determined to make the future better for the people who she cares about. And there's going to be a lot of rough bits where you're realizing that some weight you're carrying that helped you through, that kept you going, is no longer helpful to your goals, and you're going to have to discard it, and it's going to hurt. And you're going to have to pick up new skills, and maybe forgiving yourself for having taken this long to get where you are is part of that. Being kind to yourself is a very good idea, I think.
I've been kind to myself for too long. I've been given every advantage that anyone could. Wealthy family, greatest schools, even the stables that we had, they were considered to be the best quality. But here's the end product. I don't mean to be negative. I try my hardest to not go down that road. I've tried to keep telling myself that I need to smile. The first thing I said when I met them, if for only just a moment, I want to see each and every single one of you smile, because every single one of them was down on their luck. And it feels like I've done a lot to try to keep them from that place. And only now does it feel like they're back there, and it's like every possible thing that I've done may have just been for nothing. And that's what I worry about the most. It sounds absolutely ridiculous saying it aloud like that, but
Now, it seems pretty reasonable that as you're getting that as you are getting to a point where the choices are going to have even higher stakes, that they're going to be more stressful to make. I think that's entirely reasonable, and I feel a lot of that too, in truth. There, I do not think you're alone at all.
good tea, Nathan.
I learned from the best. He'll sort of come over and like deliberately, one of those sort of like side hug things where you sort of like lean on somebody. So you know your knee's getting a hug right now, Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
So Goo, as you sprint in the early morning, the morning dew still thick in the air against your skin as you run.
Like marching band practice.
You
Mm.
make your way to the palace, and as you approaching, just kind of absentmindedly, just like I gotta get there. Some guards will like step in front of you. Whoa, 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 whoa.
I'd like to think that I turned on my boots of speed and I want to slide in on my feet.
Just slow down.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got kind of excited.
It's all right. Hello again. Is everything okay? What's the hurry?
We got news that the Overlord of the Daywalkers accepted our contract and he's sending people, so I came to say that.
Oh, that's very good news. I was not aware of any ceasefire that was being signed, but that's wonderful news. And he'll kind of ring a bell outside, and you will see a different courier come over and say, "Hey, yes. Word to the Emperor immediately. Make sure he's ready for our ride. Make sure that he's aware that he'll have visitors coming. It's of most importance, and he'll explain the situation." The crew go, "Oh, yes, of course," and he'll run back to the palace. Everyone, by the way, all the guards that are awake right now are kind of like in a mode of like, is this really happening? What is going on?
Temporary ceasefire. Don't get your hopes up about not dying later.
Hey, even a temporary ceasefire means they don't have to worry about dying now.
That's fair.
Oh, fucking thank God we got a vacation.
Alright, and we'll say as 8 o'clock stretches around Ezreal, I will say go ahead and make an investigation check.
Investigation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not great with that. I will admit.
Excuse me. What's your roll?
That one. Or net 20.
20 on this.
Alright.
Wait, today is a nat 20 day.
Alright, so we'll say with relative ease you managed to find a jewel crafter who is willing to cut down the diamond for you. Because of the price of the diamond and the kind of work that they'll have to do, he's going to charge you around... He'll charge you... I would say commission... I'm trying to think of like... I'm going to look this up actually because I don't know.
You can pay him in diamonds.
What is the price for getting gems cut? I'm actually on a website that's going to actually tell me. Let's see. How much does it cost? So the market value. Okay, no, this is telling me. Okay, so it's roughly $225 up to 5 carats per finished gem weight. So we'll say that roughly amounts to, that'd be in dollars, so $225 or 225 gold per 5 carats. And this is a 25,000 gold piece diamond.
Can I tell him that I don't care how it looks?
We'll say with that. So it's $1 for each carat over 5. So for everything, I'll put it in the realm of 550 gold for all the work to be done.
Can you pay him in diamonds?
Expedited.
Alright, I'll do it.
550 gold, and that's for expedited work.
Don't worry, Luke. I have your diamond mine now.
Yeah.
You picking up any diamond dust while you're there?
Sure.
Would you like some of the diamond being cut to be turned into diamond dust?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Tack another 100 onto the price.
Alright.
Thank you.
Yeah. How much gold's worth of diamond dust are you getting?
How much gold dust do you need?
How many greater restorations do you think we're gonna need in a boss battle?
Give us a solid 5, baby.
So 500 gold worth of diamond dust.
Let's do 6.
Okay,
So we
so
both have
600
3.
So 600 gold worth of the diamond is going to be turned to diamond dust, leaving you at two. So you'll have 24,400 gold worth of diamonds. And you want that cut into? And what size do you want that cut into?
That's a good question.
Let's do some math here.
Yeah.
I'll get a calculator out to help. I'll get a calculator out so we can keep track.
Nope, that's what I meant.
All right. So far, someone write down you have six bags worth of 6 bags worth of diamond dust, worth 600 gold each, or worth 100 gold each. All right.
You know what? Sorry. Hold on. Okay, never mind. I misread something. Go on.
Okay. All right. So what diamond of what worth do you want it cut down to?
What's the lowest
So Revivify
number
is
I
300.
need?
Revivify
Revivify
is
is
300.
300. What else takes diamonds? Gate takes a gate. I could try the thing that I wanted to do, but if it doesn't work, then I don't have a use for it.
Well, you could just be like, oh, well, I can choose any one of my revival spells with this size diamond, and considering you have a lot of diamonds.
Yeah, you do have a true resurrection as well.
Do
Yeah.
have true resurrection.
So pretty much
which I think is exactly the cost of the diamond that you had.
Yeah, I'll just, if we need to true res someone,
I don't
then,
think we need to true res, right?
but if we do, I'll just, ask her to get more. What's the next level?
That would be resurrection. That would just be standard resurrection.
Resurrection.
That's what you.
Which level is that?
That's what you do for the rituals.
Hello?
Is that 5? No, is that 6?
Let's take a
Raise
look.
Dead.
Raise Dead is the one after. That's 500, and resurrection is 1,000.
Okay.
Just have everything cut into 1,000, essentially. When you can create diamonds from nothing, you know.
Do you want just 24,000 gold piece diamonds, and then you can use them for anything? It's just of at least that value.
Yeah, let's go 20,000 gold, and then it'll be 500 gold.
Okay, so there's
Right.
still 400 gold left over. Are you just gonna keep that as 1 diamond?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, sure. All right, so they'll tell you that'll be done by midday tomorrow.
All right.
There you go, Luke. Your diamond supply issue is now fixed forever.
Okay. Yeah, 20.
So as
Sounds
all of you were kind of preparing, all of you were excitedly telling your companions the news, and everything's being essentially getting underway as you see the Umbra, Viper, Odd, and Sly are in the process of okay, this is going to be happening soon. We need to get ready. They're grabbing maps. They're getting everything ready. The headmaster, Lauren, they're finalizing plans. Around noon, you guys will receive a summons to the palace. For not just you, but for basically it's you plus 2, so you can bring 2 guests along with you if you'd like, since they know you have companions in the city now.
I say headmaster and 1 person from special forces.
Okay.
Unless the special force people are just
No, they're one of them is willing to come with you. Which one would you like to have come?
Let's bring the mute guy.
Let's bring Jeremy so we can speak in class today.
Jeremy.
That's not a good thing.
It's Umbra.
Umbra?
He's the one we know the most, the best.
That is the saddest fucking song.
So as all 7 of you make your way over to the palace, the gates will be thrown wide for you in your arrival. you will see that there are a couple of members dressed in the attire of the Daywalkers that were awaiting you and will accompany you to the main meeting area. You'll see the same representatives of the Empire sitting at the in the meeting room, awaiting word. And as they enter, they all stand. The ambassadors bow and says, "It is our distinct pleasure to address you today, Emperor Alf. And of course, we come bearing," and he will extend the scroll case to one of the guard who take it and go over to the Emperor, and he opens it. You see that there's a new seal stamped on it, and from what you can gather, this is the seal of the High Overlord. He will break the seal and unwrap it and read over the contract, and you see a big smile come across his face. Nod and say, "Well then, this is good, very, very good to know." And he'll all sit down and say, "And do you have direct lines to the High Overlord?" And at which point one of them say, yes, sir. We did bring a special from Lord Galvarax, and he will produce a stone. And he'll just say it will allow for more direct communication with him as you begin discussions on how to proceed. He will nod, and he'll say, "Well, preferably I would like to set up a meeting area where we can begin discussing our plans moving forward and get the favored few the help that they require." And then will say, "Absolutely, Emperor Alf. And I'm sure the High Overlord is very much looking forward to hearing from you." And as you all are sitting there, the Emperor will say, "Well, while me and the High Overlord discuss everything, I believe I leave it to all of you to begin finalizing preparations for our intended assault." And that is where we're going to leave off for today.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Everyone go to everyone is now level 18.
Oh,
It's magical secrets time, which means wish time, which means the bard has the wish spell. Oh fuck, oh no.
we're already level 18, aren't we?
You guys level 17, aren't you?
No, we're
Uh,
18s.
Oh, did I screw up? Never mind. Stay where you are.
Oh, come on, Eric.
Yeah, we got 18 when we beat the.
Right,
Oh,
I
what?
did screw up. For some reason I thought you guys were level 17, and that's why I was
No,
like,
no,
I
no.
swear, in my mind, because I was writing it down, I was like, level 17, like, they should have been level 18 by now. Did I screw up
No,
somewhere?
no.
Okay,
For
I
some
guess I'll
reason,
level them up here.
yeah, for some reason
Well-
on my sheet, it's level
19.
17.
Not
It's
level 19 yet. That's planned for a different section. So,
It's 19.
I mean, me and Daytona would say 17 because we're the one level and something else
Yep,
hidden.
yep.
gotcha. All right, so apologies, that was my mistake. I was misremembering information, but so no level up yet. Almost.
Hmm.
We will pick this up. We are going to pick this up next week with the final preparations from the Empire and the Daywalkers for the intended assault on Lord Tremor. And until then, we'll see you guys next week.
Night, everybody.
Good night. Everything.
All of our
right
links
upstairs.
down below. Yeah.
And
Check 'em.
You,
Join our Discord.
Hey, bitches.
you know, this is by far